After months of silence, confusion, and heartbreak, the storm surrounding Hudson and Rex has just taken the most shocking turn yet. Hudson and Rex Season 8 trailer just dropped, and within seconds, the fandom exploded. Because in one haunting frame, a familiar figure appears. The man the world thought was gone, Charlie Hudson, John Reardon himself. Fans are crying, screaming, and questioning everything. How is he back? What does it mean? And most importantly, what really happened behind the scenes of this emotional comeback? This isn't just television anymore. This is redemption, betrayal, and mystery colliding in a way Hudson and Rex has never dared to show before. The trailer begins innocently enough. A quiet shot of St. John's, the same city that's been the heartbeat of Hudson and Rex since the beginning. The streets are empty, the tone darker, the music colder. Then, a flash, a shadow crossing the frame. For a split second, fans froze. Because that silhouette, that unmistakable stance, that quiet intensity, it wasn't Mark. It was Charlie Hudson. It was him. The man everyone believed had been replaced, erased, forgotten, now standing in the shadows of the city he once protected. The internet went wild. Within hours, theories started flooding in. He's back. It's real. They tried to hide it. And suddenly, everything the producers had been trying to bury came rushing to the surface. For months, fans had been mourning. The silence from the network, the cold promotional material, the complete removal of John Reardon's name, it all felt like a betrayal. But now, with just a few seconds of footage, the narrative has flipped. Because this isn't just a return, it's a message. John Reardon, the man who defined the soul of Hudson and Rex, is back from the darkness, both on screen and off. Remember, this is a man who fought for his life, literally. Diagnosed with tonsil cancer, he endured treatments, surgeries, and recovery, all while promising fans he'd come back stronger. And now, that promise has been fulfilled. But the question remains, why did it take this long? Why was he replaced in the first place? And what happened behind those studio walls that led to this emotional roller coaster? The trailer doesn't give answers, only clues. We see Rex sitting by an old cabin, his eyes fixed on something off-screen. A familiar whistle echoes in the distance. Rex perks up. The music swells. Fans swear they can hear Hudson's voice faintly calling his name. But then, the shot cuts abruptly to black. No confirmation, no dialogue, just silence. The same silence that surrounded John's mysterious disappearance in real life. It's deliberate, chilling, and brilliant. Because it mirrors the very pain fans have felt for months. The longing, the confusion, the unanswered questions. This isn't just storytelling, it's emotional manipulation at its finest. But here's where things get truly fascinating. This moment, John's possible return, didn't happen by chance. It feels orchestrated, almost poetic. The same network that quietly removed him is now teasing his return as if he's the hero of a grand comeback story. It's a risky move, but one that's paying off. Social media has turned into a battlefield. Some fans are celebrating, crying tears of joy, convinced that Hudson and Rex has finally done the right thing. Others are furious, calling it a publicity stunt designed to fix what the producers broke. But one thing's for sure, the emotional grip this show has on its audience has never been stronger. Still, there's something deeper lurking beneath the excitement. Because if John Reardon really is back, what does that mean for the man who replaced him? Mark? The trailer barely shows him, and when it does, his scenes feel cold and distant, as if his character is being pushed aside. Could this be the producer's quiet way of rewriting the wrongs of Season 8's early episodes? Could this entire season be building toward a shocking confrontation between Hudson and his replacement? Fans are already speculating that this storyline isn't just fiction, it's reflection. The story of a detective forced out of his own life, now returning to reclaim his place, mirrors what happened to John himself. It's too perfect to be coincidence. Every second of the trailer feels loaded, as if every frame hides a secret. The lighting, the pacing, even Rex's body language, everything screams setup. The writers know exactly what they're doing. They're pulling the audience back in, one heartbeat at a time, by using the very emotion that made Hudson and Rex special in the first place: loyalty. The loyalty between a man and his dog, between an actor and his audience, between a story and the truth it refuses to hide. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. Because this isn't just about one man returning to a TV show, it's about hope, about resilience, about the fans who refuse to give up on the character, and the actor who gave Hudson and Rex its heart. Season 8, Episode 1 hasn't even aired yet, and it's already become one of the most talked about premieres of the year. But deep down, everyone knows, this comeback isn't just about ratings. It's personal, it's raw, and it's only the beginning. The trailer's shockwave didn't end with that glimpse of Charlie Hudson. It only ignited something deeper. When the screen fades to black and those haunting few words appear, "Not all bonds can be broken," fans knew this wasn't random. It was a statement. The words hit like thunder because they carry history, pain, and truth. For years, the bond between Hudson and Rex was the emotional heartbeat of the show, something sacred, something unshakable. And now, Season 8 is promising to test that bond in the most devastating way possible. But the mystery doesn't stop there. Every second of this teaser feels layered with double meanings. Every sound, every flicker of light, every pause. The silence speaks, and for those who've followed the real-life story behind John Reardon's disappearance, it feels almost like a coded confession from the show itself. In one eerie scene, the camera lingers on Rex staring at Hudson's empty desk. A badge sits there, untouched, glinting faintly in the dim light. Fans immediately recognized it, the same badge Hudson carried since the very first episode. But something's off. The desk isn't abandoned, it's preserved, like a memorial, as if everyone on the team has been waiting for him to return. The trailer never shows his face directly, but that's what makes it so much more powerful. The writers know that a mystery unseen burns brighter in the imagination, and the absence of his face feels intentional, a symbol of both his physical disappearance from the show and the emotional void left behind. But there's a tension hiding beneath the nostalgia. In another fleeting moment, we hear a voiceover from the new detective Mark. He says, "Some ghosts don't stay buried." Fans immediately latched onto that line, calling it a hint that Charlie Hudson was never truly gone. Could it be a clue that the story within the show mirrors the chaos that unfolded behind the scenes? Or is it a warning, one from the writers acknowledging the backlash they've faced since John Reardon's exit? Either way, it's clear the producers are walking a tightrope. They're trying to heal the wounds they caused while also keeping the audience guessing. And that, in itself, has created one of the most emotionally charged moments in Hudson and Rex history. Behind the scenes, whispers have already begun spreading again. Sources close to production claim John's return was kept secret for months, even from some of the cast. They say his scenes were filmed under heavy security, with closed sets and fake call sheets. The lengths to which the team allegedly went to hide his comeback sound almost cinematic. But fans are divided. Some believe this secrecy proves it was always part of a grand plan, a long, painful setup to deliver the most powerful twist in the show's history. Others believe it's damage control, a desperate attempt to win back the audience after months of silence and outrage. And truthfully, both could be true. Because make no mistake, this trailer isn't just teasing a new season, it's rewriting history. The network that once erased John Reardon's name is now centering an entire marketing campaign around his return. But instead of triumph, there's melancholy in the air. The color palette is darker, the tone heavier, the score slower. It's as if Hudson and Rex has grown older, wiser, and broken by its own choices. The imagery of Rex sitting alone, waiting, isn't just a scene, it's a reflection of the fans themselves, waiting for the man who gave the show its soul to come home. And maybe that's the most haunting part of all, because while the trailer gives glimpses of hope, it also carries the weight of heartbreak. Fans can't forget the pain of his disappearance. They remember the quiet removal of his name, the lack of any farewell, the cold way Season 8 was launched as if Charlie Hudson had never existed. That kind of betrayal doesn't fade easily. So, when John's shadow reappears, it doesn't feel like simple joy. It feels like a wound reopening. It's relief and rage wrapped into one moment, because beneath the excitement lies a question that no one is ready to answer. Did John Reardon come back because he wanted to, or because the fans forced the network's hand? That's the tension pulsing through every frame of this comeback. The lines between fiction and reality have blurred completely. What's happening on screen mirrors what's been happening off screen, trust broken, loyalty tested, and silence turned into suspicion. Hudson and Rex has become more than a show. It's become a reflection of its own making. The story of a man and his dog torn apart and the world demanding they be reunited. But what happens when the reunion finally comes? What if it's not what fans expect? Because sometimes a return isn't the same as redemption. Sometimes coming back changes everything. The trailer doesn't answer these questions, but it doesn't need to. The tension is the story now. Every heartbeat, every line, every frame feels like a setup for something massive, something that could either heal the fan base or break it completely. Because this isn't just about a detective returning from the shadows. This is about Hudson and Rex reclaiming its soul, or losing it forever. You can almost feel the silence it leaves behind. Not relief, not closure. Just the kind of silence that vibrates in your chest and refuses to fade. Fans across the world replayed those final seconds over and over again, dissecting every frame, every flicker of light, every sound that might hold meaning. And then, someone noticed it, barely audible, buried deep in the mix. A whisper. "I never left." Those 3 words spread like wildfire. Was it real? Was it Charlie Hudson's voice? Or was it just the desperate imagination of a fan base longing for answers? No one knows for sure, but what's certain is that this mystery has consumed everything. Because that whisper, true or not, has reignited the fire that the network thought had gone out. The fans are no longer just watching. They're investigating. They're demanding. They're refusing to let the truth stay buried. And maybe that's the most powerful twist of all. Because in trying to silence the story of John Reardon's disappearance, the show accidentally created something bigger than itself. A movement. A community of fans united by heartbreak and loyalty, turning into detectives just like Hudson himself. They're connecting timelines, decoding interviews, rewatching old episodes frame by frame. Every scene, every moment now feels like a clue. Some even claim that Season 7, the one where John's screen time mysteriously shrank, was full of hidden messages, lines that now sound like goodbyes, looks that suddenly feel loaded with meaning. Was it planned? Or was it prophecy? Nobody can tell anymore. But one thing is clear. Hudson and Rex has never been this alive. Behind closed doors, however, things might be far less poetic. Whispers from set insiders suggest that John's return came after intense negotiations, arguments, rewrites, and late-night phone calls that nearly tore the production apart. Some say the producers didn't want him back at all, fearing his return would overshadow the rest of the cast. Others claim it was pressure from the network, who realized that without Hudson, Hudson and Rex was crumbling. Ratings had dipped, fan trust was shattered, and social media had turned the show into a battlefield. In the end, maybe the truth isn't dramatic. Maybe it's simple. Business. The show needed saving, and John Reardon was the only one who could save it. But for fans, it's not about contracts or ratings. It's about loyalty, emotion, and respect. And those are things money can't buy. Still, there's something haunting about the way this all unfolded. Because while the trailer promises hope, it also reeks of guilt. The way the show now frames Hudson's return feels symbolic, almost apologetic. It's as if the writers are saying, "We know we hurt you, we know we went too far, but can that damage really be undone? Can one dramatic comeback heal months of silence and suspicion?" Because deep down, fans remember everything. The betrayal, the confusion, the fear that the man who gave Hudson and Rex its soul was gone forever. That memory doesn't fade easily. And now, even as they cheer for his return, there's a shadow of doubt behind every smile. Will they do this again? Will he vanish once more when the cameras stop rolling? The truth is, Hudson and Rex Season 8 feels like it's walking a razor's edge. On one side, redemption. On the other, disaster. If the show delivers, if Charlie Hudson's comeback is powerful, emotional, and true, it could cement the series as one of the greatest comeback stories in television history. But if it fails, if it feels cheap or forced, it could destroy the legacy of everything that came before. And that's what makes this moment so electric. Every scene, every decision, every word that Hudson speaks in Episode 1 will carry the weight of the entire fanbase on its shoulders. But perhaps the most unsettling part of all is the feeling that something still isn't right. The trailer may have shown glimpses of his return, but it never confirms how or why he's back. Is this truly Charlie Hudson, alive and whole, or something else entirely? A flashback? A vision? A man changed by what he's been through? The tone is darker now, heavier, as if Hudson himself carries secrets that even Rex can't uncover. And that's what has fans both thrilled and terrified. Because this isn't just the story of a detective coming home, it's the story of what happens after the home isn't the same anymore. The audience isn't just expecting answers, they're expecting emotion. They want the tears, the rawness, the reunion between man and dog that will break their hearts all over again. But they also want truth. They want to understand why John Reardon disappeared, why his name was erased, why this show, built on loyalty, chose silence over honesty. And as much as the trailer teases a reunion, it doesn't erase the scars left behind. If anything, it reminds everyone just how deep they run. So now, as the countdown to Episode 1 begins, one truth hangs in the air like fog. You can't erase the past. You can only confront it. And that's exactly what Hudson and Rex Season 8 seems ready to do. But whether this story ends in healing or heartbreak, no one can tell. All we know is that for the first time in a long time, the world will be watching again. And when Charlie Hudson steps back into the light, if he truly does, the entire world will hold its breath. The countdown to Season 8, Episode 1 has become more than just anticipation. It feels like the calm before a storm. The fandom is restless, waiting for the moment that could either heal years of silence or tear open old wounds once more. The world is watching, not just for a show, but for closure. The whispers have grown louder, the theories darker. Some believe Charlie Hudson's return will come in the final minutes of the episode, a slow burn that ends with the sound of Rex's bark echoing through an empty street. Others believe the story will twist the knife, that Hudson is alive, but broken, changed by whatever happened during his mysterious disappearance. And maybe that's what Season 8 is truly about, not just his comeback, but the scars left behind when trust is shattered. Because now, the line between fiction and reality has dissolved completely. When John Reardon vanished from Hudson and Rex, fans felt like they lost someone real. And now, with the promise of his return, the emotions have only intensified. This isn't just an actor reprising a role, it's a man reclaiming his legacy. The same legacy that the show itself tried to bury. And yet, there's something poetic about it. The man who portrayed loyalty and courage on screen is now living that same battle off screen, fighting not for survival this time, but for recognition, for truth, for the story he helped build. Episode 1 is rumored to open in a way that no one expects, not with an explosion, not with a crime scene, but with absence. The team moves through their day as if something's missing, and that emptiness fills every frame. It's a haunting reflection of how fans have felt all this time, something essential gone, something irreplaceable. And just when it seems like the show will carry on without addressing it, a single moment changes everything. A sound, faint but familiar. A whistle Rex has waited months to hear. He stops. He listens. His tail flicks. His ears rise. The camera lingers on his face as he sprints toward the sound, disappearing into the fog. And then, nothing. The screen cuts to black, leaving only 2 words. He's back. That's the moment that will break the internet. That's the line that will make every fan cry, shout, and replay it 1,000 times. Because whether it's a dream, a flashback, or reality, it means one thing. Charlie Hudson's story isn't over. The man they thought was gone has returned, and with him, the heart of Hudson and Rex. But here's the catch. This isn't a fairy tale. This isn't a clean comeback. It's messy, emotional, and filled with unanswered questions. Because behind that one moment of joy, there's still an ocean of silence. Why was he gone for so long? Why did no one speak up? And what price did it take to bring him back? Insiders say Episode 1 will be both a tribute and a test. It will remind viewers of what Hudson and Rex once stood for: trust, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between man and dog. But it will also confront the choices that broke that trust. There's talk of hidden references throughout the episode, lines that subtly acknowledge what happened behind the scenes, moments that feel almost too personal, as if the show itself is confessing its guilt. And in that sense, this isn't just a return, it's a reckoning. A chance for Hudson and Rex to face its own ghosts. Still, beneath the tears and celebration, one truth lingers in the shadows. This comeback might not be permanent. The same forces that pushed John Reardon out once could strike again. Fans know that. They feel it. That's why this moment feels so fragile, so precious. It's hope wrapped in uncertainty. It's victory tinged with fear. And that's exactly why this story matters. Because after everything, the silence, the heartbreak, the anger, Charlie Hudson's return reminds us all of what made Hudson and Rex special in the first place. It wasn't just the cases. It wasn't even the mysteries. It was the connection. The loyalty that transcended every obstacle. And now, as Season 8 begins, one question remains. Is this the redemption the fans have been waiting for? Or just the calm before another heartbreak? One thing is certain. When the screen fades to black and that familiar whistle echoes once more, the world will be watching. Because some stories, no matter how broken, refuse to stay buried. And Charlie Hudson's story is far from over.